Yes. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Welcome, everyone to the bi weekly vertical EMA. I hope everyone can hear me loud and clear. Guys, I'm in the beautiful south of France right now. I'm actually on a holiday, and but I spent time in New York last week. I was spontaneously invited by the Coinbase team to join a private discussion on their headquarters in New York at Madison Square. And for that reason, we had to skip the biweekly EMA last week. And regardless if I'm on a holiday, guys, I think this was such a very impactful event, not for just me, being invited to the Coinbase headquarters in New York, which is, of course, an honor for them to get you on there as an industry expert. This was a private event, it was invite only, but also it's amazing for the network expansion that we are now experiencing within the team of the vertical group. You really notice that if you continue building during the harder times, and you continue, innovating, trying to come up with new innovative concepts, honestly try to build um, products that you think, users really want, that is going to fill up a missing gap in a market, you get noticed. And the beautiful thing is that not only I just spent time in New York on the headquarters of Coinbase with base core base individuals. I'm also spending a lot of time with other partners in the agentic space that are working very closely with the Coinbase and the base team, building awesome products and just inspiring each other is just a phenomenal experience. This has already resulted in me being invited to Hong Kong in November to speak on. Well, I'll tell you the name when it's confirmed, but out of the event, obviously I took the lead there. I took the mic and I opened the discussion. I made sure that everybody knew who Mark T is from Vertical. And yeah, out of that thing, there's always people approaching you and asking if you can speak. So guys, it's very funny, right? Because we started this journey about 2 years ago, and in crypto blockchain, this sounds like a very long time. But if you consider this in the perspective of real business building, we're still young, right? We're a startup. Obviously, our token had phenomenal success, and now we're building that fundamental value, those utilities within the token. We're expanding that token ecosystem. We're building the community around it. And we're still here. We're staying here. And we keep on pushing. We love this space. Um, but you have to realize that 2 years is like literally still at the start of a journey. We are here to build for the long term, right? And I know it's hard to grasp because we always think in these 4 year cycles. And I've been in this space for a decade, experienced, I think, four booms and bust myself as a retailer, but also as as a team member, as a builder, as a founder. One thing that I always know is that this space, after it busts, it always comes back and it will boom again. And what I noticed at this Coinbase event was that there's so many people building amazing stuff. And the difference now is that they're building actual products, right? And I was talking with a few guys that are very high up in the VC world. And they said they actually started funding projects within the Web3 space again about 3 to 4 months ago. Because for them, like the bear market is actually a trigger for them to start deploying money. That's the best moment for them to start deploying because that way you have the most upside, right? And the reason why they do is because they are funding the projects now that in one and they are making sure that those projects have the capital to make it a success. And this is happening a lot, guys. Like it might not seem like it, but behind the scene, there's so much money being poured in into this market again, and that is going to come back. In the next 1 to 18 months, we are going to boom again. I think most of the pain is behind us. That was my intuition when I was talking to a lot of people over there. Um, And we're back. I hope that you guys got that. So we're signing the final papers, but we brought in a phenomenal person on the advisory side for the VAPI team. We are in close contact right now with the core team of Base, and we are going to see. We're going to call soon with the head of events of Base to see if we can organize some events with them to bring vertical, but also the VAPI, everything into the spotlight. And we are building on a lot of relationships and partnerships from that. Guys, it was phenomenal. It was very funny because we there was a discussion going on and about what X-Row 2, what the current status is, what is missing currently in the market. And the funny thing is that what the team on the Vapi side is building is just a major part that is just missing within that space. And it's very funny, right? Because if you compare that to the Web 2, how that boomed 20 years ago, you can really start to see these similarities in patterns, right? What was needed to make Web 2 boom? That was, a very specific element, and that is trust. And that's the funny thing, right? Because trust is needed for large transactions to happen over a certain payment rail. You can make the best payment rail in the world, but if there's no trust that if you spend your $500, that your service gets delivered 3 or 5 or a week later, you will not even consider purchasing that service over that highly advanced payment rail, right? And this is exactly what the team at Vapi is building. They're building the trust layer that is going to open up not only microtransactions on X-Row 2, because that is basically what it's only used for, right? Because who cares if your 6 cent API call doesn't come through? But we do care that if you order $500 of any service or product online through X-Row 2, that you can get your money back if it doesn't get delivered, and that the vendor knows that if he puts it on the mail, that or when he starts working on it, that the money is even there. And all those elements, like the Vapi team is currently building their own custom non-custodial contracts to make that trust layer possible. And guys, it doesn't exist yet. X-Row 2 was natively built for machine-to-machine payments. And that was funny because at Coinbase, there was a line on the screen. It said, uh, traditional payment railways were made for humans. Now we need payment railways for agents. And I just said that is ludicrous. We need payment railways that works for agents and humans. And that is exactly the layer that Vapi is building on that side. It's going to open up demand because it creates a trust layer that is going to give way more people the confidence to spend large amount of money. And obviously, every transaction is going to charge a fee, and that fee is going to be trickling back through the tokenomic mechanics back to that token economy as well. And guys, it's just phenomenal. It was great to be at Coinbase to discuss this and to really acknowledge that what we are building on the Vapi side is going to, you know, uh, uh, fill in a missing gap. Anyway, a lot of beautiful things happening over there. I will keep you guys posted um, on what comes out of it, obviously, at the EMAs in general. Something that I also want to mention here, guys, before, because obviously, this is going to be a bit of a short EMA. just want to give you guys a little update on how New York went. I think something very impressive that we're going to be doing again next week. Obviously, we already burned 1%. I think like 2 weeks ago, we are going to be burning another percent next week. So that is beautiful. That makes us a total of 10% burnt of the total supply. And obviously, we keep on going, until we hit that 25%. That is just awesome. Very soon, we're going to be taking the snapshot for the stakers of Vertii, that are, have been staking since the past, I don't know, what is it, few months, that have been, participating in the campaigns, etc. So soon the snapshot will happen. So stay tuned. We'll update you on that. And then after that, well, we are not going to we're not going to announce a TGE or whatever, but you can probably guess that if the snapshot has been taken, that the launch of the VAPI token is going to be very close. Yeah, and then we're also working on the Vertii token. Obviously, we're going to be we've been talking to a lot of partners to make sure that we are bringing a lot of more liquidity back. And so there's a lot of things going on, guys. Keep in mind though that this is obviously the summer holiday. At the team, we're like switching each other off. Everybody is like taking some time off because after the summer things are going to go blasting and full steam ahead. We have so much plans, we have so much strategies laid out. Also, with the team of Vapi just doing phenomenal work, the partnerships that they're building, the custom smart contracts, the security partners that they're currently also collaborating with, the integration partnerships, the ecosystem partnership. It's it's crazy. Like it's just phenomenal. The stuff that is coming, guys. I'm super excited to come back at the office in Curacao to make sure that we go full steam ahead. For now, I will say, let's see if there's any questions, guys. And else, I would say, well, be a little bit patient because there's a lot of fucking good shit around the corner. I love it. Okay, let's see if we have any more questions here. Um, what happened? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can target this heads on. So someone, I can be straight up with this, guys. It was a KOL that we've started working together with. I don't know, a year ago, maybe 1.5 year ago. It's funny, right? They don't even give me a notice. Like usually, we try to work things out with them on the background, but this guy just he sold his token. He straight up clipped. We are in DMs with him to make sure he sort of does some. He restores a little bit of the damage that he did. But yeah, this is what can happen, guys. You make deals with KOLs to to help promote your project, and then yeah, they straight up dump on the chart and. It's horrible to see, especially at these levels, especially after all the work that we put into this. The fact that we're still here, that we're still building, right? A lot of teams have given up during these bad markets. But yeah, we're in DMs with them right now, and we're forcing them because one thing that is very different of us is that we have contracts with most of them, and if they violate those terms, then well, we'll be legally chasing them. It can take a bit of a time. Obviously, they're always a bit stubborn. They're not all bad guys. Some of them they're good. They've kept supporting us, and they still hold. They are behaving, but there's always this rogue person that suddenly, I don't know, does these kind of stupid things. It is what it is, but yeah, just know that we're with them in conversation on the background. And yeah, Zach, same person. Coinbase private event indeed. Please watch back the whole EMA. I think I went into pretty deep depth. In general, um, it was let's see. I was invited to Coinbase headquarters in New York to privately speak on a discussion about agentic AI on chain. and how we could improve this and make sure that this becomes the major narrative on the next run. So very exciting. Please watch back the whole EMA. So yeah, guys, let's see if we are any more questions in the chat here. Um, Alrighty, I don't see any more questions. Um, all right, I don't see any more questions. So, guys, I'm going to enjoy my half holiday. Obviously, I'm always at half capacity. I don't really do holidays in full, but I'm going to enjoy the sun here in south of France. I hope you're all spending a lot of quality time with your family as well during this summer. Stay active in the community. We always enjoy having your questions. And for now, just be a bit more patient because the good stuff is very, very close. And I can't be more excited to get this horse back on the road. For now, guys, I wish everybody a great day, a great evening, wherever you are in the world. But this is Mark T tuning out. Cheers.